What is going on, Headliner Nation? It's your boy, the Doc, and we are back with another Dynasty Headliner video. If you've been following along the last few weeks, you know that we're talking about Dynasty sleepers this offseason, and we've talked about the quarterbacks, we've talked about the wide receivers, and this week, it's all about the running backs. Let's jump into it. Before we get into specific players, let's talk about some things that matter with the running back position specifically. First up, draft capital. Running backs taken in the first round have a higher chance of becoming top 24 players in fantasy in their first 2 seasons specifically, and 88% of running backs will break out with the team that drafted them. Those teams liked them, they plan on using them. Running backs that change teams rarely break out. So we're looking for young guys specifically that have been drafted to their team already. Now, the other thing that matters is we are looking for younger guys. Age matters with the running back position. 60% of running backs will break out between the ages of 22 and 24, and 75% of running backs break out by their 3rd season. So we really want guys that have not hit that 3rd season yet. Two-thirds of running back seasons where players scored over 250 PPR points also occurred between the ages of 23 and 26. So typically guys break out by the age of 23 or 24, and then they have their best seasons after that. The last thing that matters is situation, and of course, volume is king when it comes to the running back. We want guys that have huge opportunities to contribute both in the running game and the passing game. We also ideally want to target running backs that have elite quarterbacks and play in offensive schemes that highlight the position. So with all of those things in mind, here are my picks for the best running back sleepers in Dynasty right now. The first guy that I'm going to talk about today is Trey Benson with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Benson wasn't able to really get things going in 2024. He ended the year on injured reserve and had only 2 games where he scored more than 10 PPR points. So there's not much to love about how last season went, but that also means that there's only one place for him to go, and that is up. James Conner turns 30 in a few months and has his own history of injury issues, which could open the door for Trey Benson to get more opportunities. And I actually think the Cardinals are gearing up for a big season for their picks from last year. I don't think we saw the best of Marvin Harrison Jr., and I don't think we saw the best usage for Trey Benson as well. They took him early in the 3rd round, decent draft capital, not a 1st-round pick, but definitely a guy that they want to prioritize for their offense going forward. And I think there's even a chance that he could elevate himself into an RB1 role with the team by as soon as mid-season or sooner if an injury happens to James Conner. He fits all the criteria that I mentioned earlier for a typical running back that's about to break out. And while I do have some questions about the quality of the O-line he's playing behind, I'm still investing heavily into Trey Benson in Dynasty right now at his current ADP as the RB35, and I do like to try to work him into trades where I can. All right, the next guy on the list is Sean Tucker. Now, I can already hear what you guys are thinking right now. Doc, why is the RB3 for the Bucs considered a sleeper in Dynasty right now? But the problem is that everybody has their eyes on Bucky Irving as the Bucs' top running back. And I get that. He was incredible last year, but it's easy to forget that the Bucs actually produced 2 top 24 running backs in 2024. Rachaad White finished as the RB22 in fantasy last season, and 7 times both Irving and White managed to score more than 10 PPR points in the same game. So it's not like they weren't producing at the same time. There's a lot of buzz right now around Sean Tucker potentially being in line for RB2 work in Tampa Bay sooner rather than later. The team loves him, and they really think that he has the potential to be an RB1 in the league. It's just a shame that he's behind Bucky Irving, who they also love. Not a lot of buzz coming out of the Bucs locker room or their front office about Rachaad White being a major player in this backfield for the rest of his career. He's actually on his rookie deal. He's got 1 year left, and there's a chance that they could move on from him as soon as this offseason if the right trade partner comes along. We'll see how the draft goes. A lot of good running backs in this year's draft, but if a team doesn't get a running back that they like, Rachaad White could be the top trade target for multiple teams this offseason heading into next year if somebody were to get hurt. But what we've seen with Sean Tucker is that when he's given opportunities, he can shine. In week 6, he led all running backs in fantasy. He had a 17-touch performance that saw him rush for 136 yards and a score. He also caught 3 passes for another 56 yards and another score. So when he got the chance to be the RB1, he produced as an RB1, as the RB1 in fantasy. Now, I'm not saying that Bucky Irving is just going to go away, but what I am saying is that there is value in his current ADP, and Sean Tucker going as the RB77 overall in Dynasty right now is a real shame to me, because if something were to happen to Bucky Irving, I would guess at this moment that Sean Tucker has as good of a chance or better than Rachaad White to take over RB1 duties in Tampa Bay. Before I get into the last guy today, I just want to tell you guys that one of the things I appreciate the most about the Fantasy Headliners is we really do vet the companies that want to sponsor our videos. We try to make sure that we are getting good, high quality discounts and deals for you guys over at Headliner Nation. We want the quality of the products that we advertise on this channel to be the best quality that we can give to Headliner Nation, which is why I'm so excited to have partnered with Turtle Beach. Now, Turtle Beach has given us an amazing opportunity to talk about and use some of their products. The Stealth 700 headsets that they have come out with are absolutely incredible. They have an 80-hour battery life, and they have quick charge, which means you almost never have to recharge the headset. But almost every single Turtle Beach product that I have gotten my hands on over the last month or two has been unbelievable. It's amazing how much time and effort they put into gaming and the products that they produce. And they've given us a special deal just for you guys at Headliner Nation. Use the code HEADLINERS for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your entire order over at turtlebeach.com with the code HEADLINERS. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them, and please support our channel and let them know that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. The last running back on this list is Tony Pollard, and I get it. Tony Pollard does not really fit the criteria that I laid out earlier in the video for guys that are set to break out, but I do still think that he's being underappreciated in Dynasty for what he is. He's probably not going to win you a league by himself, but there is value in consistent RB2 play in Dynasty. And I know that we don't know what's going to happen with the quarterback situation in Tennessee, but they've done a pretty good job of building a strong O-line that is able to create openings for the running back position specifically. Pollard's rushed for over 1,000 yards and had over 1,300 total yards in each of his last 3 seasons. He was top 10 last year among running backs in snap share, opportunity share, weighted opportunities, carries, and targets. So he's getting the volume that a lot of running backs would kill to have right now, and that is valuable in and of itself. I still think that he has a better than average chance than most running backs do at sneaking into that late RB1 conversation in 2025, which by definition still puts him as a sleeper at his current RB24 price tag. That's all I got for you guys this week. Let me know in the comments, who are some running backs that you are targeting in Dynasty? Who do you think could break out if there's somebody that I didn't mention? If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. And if you want to, hit the join button down below. Become a member of Headliner Nation. Get access to our exclusive Discord. We've got a lot of great Dynasty content coming to you guys over on the Discord, and a lot of great conversations going on as we get into the thick of the offseason with free agency and the draft coming up, and you don't want to miss it. But that's all I got for you this week, and we will see you next time.
Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.